please close your eyes and take a deep breath. Now picture yourself sitting at your desk at the end of a long workday. As you start packing up to leave for the day, you can smell the fresh air outside the office. Picture your loved ones at home, maybe family, friends, or a fluffy companion. You hear them welcoming you to that favorite spot on your comfortable couch, ready for a relaxing evening, when all of a sudden you feel it, a vibration in your pocket. You reach down, pull out your phone, and see the message. It's a request from your manager to present a status update at tomorrow's all hands with the entire org. Okay, open your eyes and check your pulse. Can you feel your heart pumping? Unless you're an anomaly, you have some degree of public speaking fear. And that fear causes an increase of blood flow to your legs for flight mode, as well as to your hands in case your reaction is defense. Hopefully you didn't have a sharp object in your hand during that exercise. Now I share this insight because it's helpful to understand our fears if we want to overcome them. The average resting heart rate for women is 82 beats per minute and 72 for men. If our resting heart rate increases by 10 beats per minute, we experience what scientists call flooding, where our overflowing emotions can trigger physical response. My point? Fear of public speaking is natural and common. You may have heard the old adage, people would rather be in the casket than giving a eulogy. In this season, we're going to share practical tips to help relieve anxiety and boost confidence, or at the very least, help you appear more confident despite the massive butterfly migration that travels through your stomach when you present. Through our experience of coaching and training thousands of professionals, from executive keynotes to engineer scrums, we've found that people often take the wrong approach to presentations. A recent study found that 70% of business mistakes are rooted in poor communication. And 86% of executives agreed that communications clearly impact their career and income. But despite these stats, only 25% of leaders spend more than 2 hours preparing for high-stakes presentations. My point? Prioritizing and investing time ensures propitious preparation. So, pat yourself on the back. Simply watching these videos will increase your probability of success. But you might be thinking, okay, Jack, if I carve out more time to prep, where do I start? I'm glad you asked. Let's dive into practical tips for preparation that you can squeeze between your back-to-back meetings. We're going to offer a simple 4-step approach to mastering presentations that will save you time and increase your effectiveness. We've developed it over years of training, and it continues to evolve from our ongoing learning. One particular resource that I recommend to master presentations is a book by Nancy Duarte called Resonate. I was pleased to find that we share many similar views, and she offers some additional awesome tips that I'll include in these videos. Now, let's revisit that opening exercise, where I tried to invoke your senses to imagine your manager's last-minute request. How would you have responded? In our experience, working with various departments, from engineering and sales to HR and marketing, most people think of themselves. And we're going to use a nice bright red, forgive my drawings in advance, to represent when people are standing in the room wearing their best outfit with a butterfly nerves basket, awkwardly moving their hands in odd ways. We'll call this part of the approach delivery. Now, other people say they start by searching old slides to repurpose. And so we'll use a nice boring black because people often overestimate time and power of slides. Visuals can be helpful, but they're not a focus. They're just an aid. So whether you're repurposing those slides or asking team members what to present, we'll call this part of the approach content. Now, I'm sorry to say, but it's time to let your old selfish ways die and welcome in a new approach to successful communications, where we start with the most important part of our approach, which is the audience. If you write down one message from this video, it is to get over yourself. Presentations are not about us. They're about the people who listen to us, our audience. Now, we recognize that you have a job to do, a status update to present, and people to please. But we strongly encourage the golden rule: put others over yourself. After all, who determines the success of your presentations? I know I've miscalculated in the past. We walk out of the room high-fiving our colleagues thinking we nailed our presentation, only to find out later that the decision maker actually commented about being confused by our unorganized messaging and ended up denying approval. So I encourage you to avoid potential career danger and start your presentation approach by focusing on your audience, which is what we'll focus on in the next episode. But before we move on, there's one piece missing from the presentation puzzle. 90% of people neglect the crucial connection to bridge the gap between audience and their content. Defining and pursuing objectives, working towards those target goals, are important. We need to consider the most important question for presentations. Why? Why is your audience showing up? Why are you speaking? We'll share more guidance on how to analyze audiences and achieve objectives with well-crafted content and confident delivery in future episodes. Speaking of delivery, I'll leave you with a practical tip about eye contact. We've found there's typically two types of people when it comes to eye contact. Those who enjoy it because it strengthens connections and blurs out the masses when speaking to large groups. On the other hand, most of us struggle with eye contact. If I stare into your eyes for too long, it becomes awkward soul searching and one of us has to look away. If that's you, I recommend looking at foreheads. It seems like we're making eye contact and we avoid the soul searching. And that is why I've been looking right above the camera in these videos to avoid the distracting lens. Now we'll finish with one of our objectives for these videos, which is to make them practical and interactive. So we'll do it by offering a non-traditional tip. Develop your vocabulary. We all studied it in grade school, then we entered the working world and have succumbed to its uninspiring vernacular. We of course want to be authentic and not seem overly scholarly, but there's so much beauty and wonder in language. Take advantage of it. So for this episode, the word is propitious. I used it earlier in a line when I said prioritizing and investing time ensures propitious preparation. Propitious is an adjective used to indicate a good chance of success. To further improve your favorability with audiences, try it out in a sentence today and reflect on this closing question to build your communications competence. How do you rate your ability to prepare for presentations and objectively measure their success? Dig deep. Thanks for engaging. Much love.